Hello and welcome to BenefitNext. In this short video, I'll be illustrating how BenefitNext communicates with the employees of our end users, which are private employer groups. The purpose is to notify each employee of their coverage options under healthcare reform and assist them in determining what financial subsidies may be available to them. Let's begin with the email each employee receives. As illustrated, this email will come from SecureSheet at BenefitNext.com. It will be sent to every employee listed on the census that was provided by the employer. The subject will indicate Health Plan Subsidy Predictor, and the message will contain a PDF attachment. To ensure employees are expecting this, BenefitNext is asking each employer to notify their employees in advance about this correspondence. Sample communication materials will be provided to them. This email fulfills three critical duties. It provides the employees with a federally required Marketplace Coverage Options Model Notice. It provides them helpful information about their employer plan, and it tells them how to access and use a Household Subsidy Predictor, or as we call it, X2. This is critical in determining what financial subsidies or health care cost reductions may be available to the employees, in addition to allowing them to run various financial scenarios for their household to determine its impact on their subsidies, such as a spouse returning to work, getting a pay raise, or taking on a second job. Now let's look at the model notice. This first page of the attachment is generic in nature, but it offers the employee some very critical information. It tells them about the health insurance marketplace and that they may qualify for premium savings. It tells them how their employer plan affects their eligibility. If this plan doesn't meet certain coverage standards or is affordable as outlined by healthcare reform, they may qualify for subsidies or tax credits. Lastly, it tells them how to get more information. It encourages everyone to visit healthcare.gov to learn more about the Affordable Care Act and their rights. Under healthcare reform, this page is the only required document that an employer has to distribute to their employees to remain in compliance. Any other pages are optional. So it's fairly easy for an employer to meet this standard. However, at BenefitNext, we saw this as an opportunity to add some value-added benefits to our end users. We did this by customizing the optional pages to offer employees specific information about their employer plan, about whether it is affordable and meets minimum value, and then guides them towards the Household Subsidy Predictor, X2. Let's take a look at page 2 now. The top section of the form, illustrated in blue, provides basic information about the employer group, in addition to who the primary contact is for health benefits, their telephone number, and email address. The next section indicates who the employer offers coverage to, be it all employees or just some employees. If only certain employees are eligible for coverage, the eligibility rules will be indicated here as well. Now we look at dependents. Are dependents offered coverage, and if so, what are their eligibility rules? Additionally, this section may indicate there is no dependent coverage. The next checkbox indicates whether or not the plan is affordable. Here's how healthcare reform's rules defines affordability. If the employee's share of the premiums for the lowest cost self-only or employee-only plan does not exceed 9.5% of their savings, then the plan is affordable, and this box will be checked. This last box indicates whether or not this plan meets minimum value, or in simpler terms, does it meet the minimum coverage requirement defined by the Accountable Care Act. A plan meets minimum value if the plan's share of the total cost covered by the plan is less than 60% of such costs. The last section we need to look at on this very helpful document is the text indicated in red. This tells the employees whether or not their plan is in compliance, but for all employees, it encourages them to access and use the BenefitNext Plan Subsidy Predictor. Their employer may not know all the facts about their household, such as total household income and the number of qualified dependents. The only sure way for an employee to accurately determine what they may qualify for is to use this very helpful tool. Additionally, it will allow them to run various hypothetical situations for their household to determine how this will ultimately affect their benefit cost. If you have found this informative, please visit us again at benefitnext.com.